This week's episode is sponsored by The Track House, your one-stop beauty shop. Head over to The Track House and meet one of the stylists who can do anything from giving you the perfect set of base braids, slaying your lace closure, or your frontal to a bomb-ass silk press that'll have you feeling like you just stepped off the set of a Pantene commercial. There's also a professional makeup artist on site that can complete the look by beating your face to the gods. Track House also sells luxury version hair bundles, so head over to thetrackhouse.com, that's TRACHOUSC/shop for $20 off your order using code THETEAM. This deal expires May 26th, so place your order today, and let's get to the show.
I'ma go in on that grind. Yeah. Girl said you got that one. Yeah. Let them talk that shit. Yeah. Your girl said you a bitch, nigga. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Beck Easy.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Joe.
Hey guys, it's Trell, aka Brown Sugar, and we are
The Team. Thank you for tuning in to episode 5. What's love got to do with it? And we're gonna get started.
Yes. How was your week? Your weekend?
A lot. Very busy. It's always busy for us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The norm.
Last week we had our recap. I celebrated I went to my friend's 50th party.
Her friend's 50th.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
And then I wasn't lit.
If you guys watched our live, I'm pretty sure you can come to
our
your own
Facebook
conclusion.
live, she was not her regular Joe. That was Joey Crack.
No,
She was
I was
on
regular
one.
degla. But the problem was maybe that night I couldn't hear myself and I was like super loud for no reason.
You were very
and then the
loud.
guy that was talking to us was like, saying things to antagonize me. So I think that's why.
She felt like he was coming for her, and he definitely
I think
was.
that's why
Not
I was
really.
a little loud, but
That's
it's all
so
good, all
funny.
good.
Well, I got a new car. Woo,
Yes.
Yay.
Now we
I
got to
love
be
it.
like, who car we gonna take?
Right, because you first episode you had the new car.
Right.
Last
I mean,
episode.
That
she got the
episode I got a
Yeah.
new car,
we was lit.
I ain't getting a new car no time soon.
but you got a newer car.
Yeah.
So
I
you
have
in
it.
the
We all riding.
rumbles.
And it's all we all have silver cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
Except
it's
for-
who got gas. You got gas. You got gas.
I got a little bit guys right now. Becca
I
drove
did
here
that.
though.
Yeah, I did that, and then me and my friends threw a celebration graduation party for my girl
Haley, shout out to
Yes.
Haley. Shout out to everybody that's graduating. We know so
Yes.
many people that are graduating. Shout out to them.
Yes.
We're so very proud of you.
Yeah.
Mad people. We were lit. So Trell,
Yeah.
how about you?
My week was, I didn't do anything too crazy this week. I did take a much needed me day on Friday. So I gave
Call
myself
out.
a little long weekend. I got my hair done at the Track House
Yes,
yesterday.
Track House.
I see you slaying over
And then
there.
yesterday just chilled and binge watched a little bit of in and out of sleep because I kept dozing off because I drink a
Right.
whole bottle of wine by myself. But we watched, what was it, 13 Reasons, the second season.
Yeah, I
So
still
don't know if
haven't
you guys-
seen the first
Yeah,
season.
you gotta
It's
watch
really
that.
good.
It's really
It's
good.
intense. Very, very intense.
Yep, so we did that at Nell's house, me, Becca, Nell, and Adea. We just did that literally all Saturday evening,
and it was nice.
and it was great.
That sounds like relaxing. We're always so busy on Saturdays
Yeah, so
that
when we have
yesterday
that
was
rare
like
time
peace.
to not have
And
a
it
lot
was
to do.
raining.
Right.
It's great.
Joe, you got a line for us?
Yes.
Is it okay? So is it the one that we're gonna know?
Hopefully. I don't know about y'all.
I don't know.
I don't know about
This is
myself.
this is a group and this is an R&B song.
Okay.
So, have you ever loved someone so much that you were just too blind to see?
Oh, I'm cheap because I thought it was Candy Coated Rainbow.
Wait.
Have you ever
No.
loved someone? And then what?
Say it again.
Have you ever loved somebody so much that you were just too blind to see?
And then I'm like, have
see
you
what?
ever loved somebody?
Have you ever loved somebody so much that
I
you
was
were
thinking
too
of
blind to
the
see?
song, but it's not that.
so
'cause you told me
many.
it was a
It's so
group.
many.
So now I'm like, I don't know.
Guy or male or female?
Female.
Female group. What's the name of the group at least? And then I can guess the
No.
song.
If I give you the name of
Nah.
the group,
I give up, Joe.
What's the name of
Destiny's
this?
Child Bad Habits.
Which album was
So
that?
this is
We
what we're
both
gonna
got
do.
it.
This is what we're gonna do. If you're gonna do a song, I'm gonna need you to come in and you're gonna have to sing it or
Yeah.
spit some bars. And I mean, really do it. So
Or
that I can know.
within the week.
That's
okay.
not-
So within the week, you can play a song on your way to work, and then we have to pick which
See if we was
song
paying
from those
attention.
lyrics is the thing. How about we switch it up?
How
We'll do it
about
that
you
way.
guys just get it together? How about that?
Yeah.
You know what? This is something we need to ask our viewers on the
Yes,
live.
yes.
Do they recognize By My Words the song? Because I've never heard any feedback on Drop That Line.
I know everybody was like, how they didn't know that was Bad Boys 2 for the first
Oh, yes.
And I bet
Yeah.
you a lot of people saying that didn't know until the answer was said.
Right.
No, I got a lot of text messages. Nah, your
So
girls
yeah,
are
we'll do a
wildin'.
poll. We'll do a poll,
Okay.
and we'll see what the people think or how we should go about the line. Because I know they probably be like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Let us know if
y'all
you
need
want to
just
hear Joey
X out
sing.
because y'all ain't getting it. All right, so we're gonna start our hot topics.
Yes.
So our first topic is the mother effers that are so scared that they're calling the cops for no reason
Right.
at all.
Right.
There's so many different situations. We got Barbecue Becky. That might be the most iconic one.
Barbecue Becky.
Like she called on a black family that was illegally grilling in a
Quote,
park in
unquote.
California, and they had her in like mad different memes. Like, oh, I'm sorry, they're in church shouting.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, I saw her.
Her EP put up a meme with,
She
with her
did.
and a photo of her.
Yeah, she was like, police, they're promoting black women in friendship.
Honestly, she
Because that's
should.
basically like the theme. You're minding your business, doing great things, and here go
Yeah.
somebody with their white tears.
They should have just invited her over. We
Like, you
have
want a burger?
cornbread.
Exactly. And then there's another instance in Memphis, Tennessee. Michael Hayes. He's a black real estate investor.
Yes, I saw that.
And the neighbor was taking pictures because he was there, taking pictures of the house that he's about to invest in. And shout out to the Memphis Police Department because they basically told the neighbor, like,
Yep.
he can be here as long as he wants. And
The
she's
one
like,
situation
"Hurry
was
up."
handled a little bit better by the police.
Yeah.
Like,
Clap for him.
I saw
Clap
that,
for
yeah.
him.
She was like, "Oh, he needs to hurry up and get out of here." And the cops were like, "No, he doesn't. He's doing his job. He's going
Right.
to take as long as he needs to." And the guy was like, "You know what? Could y'all stay out here for like 5 minutes while I go in his house? Because just in case she tried to come behind me, because
Right.
yeah." So
right.
they stayed, and it was like, if you
They
bother
took a
him,
selfie.
we're gonna arrest you.
Yeah, good. Now,
Thank you.
So she just looked real foolish.
Yeah, but the situation at Yale was a little bit different. It was a black graduate student Loladi
on, New Haven.
Siambola. She basically was working on a paper, a grad student. You know how it is in
Yeah.
college. And she was in her comment area and fell asleep. And the lady came out and was like, you're not supposed to be here. I'm calling the cops. She probably was like, okay, girl. Like, didn't
Yeah,
really
they
think
think she
that
was
they
really
was.
gonna do it.
Right.
And a total of 4 cops were on the scene for this whole escapade. I'm like, y'all ain't have nothing else to do.
Right.
Really not.
And they were like, she was like, look, I live here. Like, she opened up her apartment door and they're like, we still need your ID. They were kind of nasty, the cops.
New
And trying
Haven,
to
do
overuse
better.
of power,
Yeah.
like, and she said it, and they were like, it has nothing to do with power, but in reality, it really does, because once she opened up her door,
Right.
why wasn't that enough for you
Right.
to like just calm down?
Right. Like, they're acting like it's so uncommon to like fall asleep in a comment.
Right. My
Right.
thing is, she could have just tapped her on the shoulder and said, "You're okay," for one,
Right.
Right.
or just
Is you-
said,
are you
"Do you
alive?
mind going to your room and going to sleep?" Like something, a simple question.
I
Like,
probably
why?
would buck on her even if she said
Like,
that.
But my
ma'am.
thing is, at least the person asked you nicely, "Do you mind not sleeping here? You're not supposed to sleep here." But my thing is, why are we automatically calling the
Right.
police?
It's getting
For a
really out
sleeping
of
person.
hand. Like, even remember we were talking, you said
Bob
it was Bob
Marley's
Marley's
granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
They were all at an Airbnb
yep.
in California and they were leaving with their
With
luggage.
Suka, yep.
7 cop cars pulled up because the lady called and said it was a burglary. And so they're like, had hands up. They had them there for like 20 to 45
Right.
minutes, like trying to get the situation handled. And I didn't know it was 3 black guests, but then they were also with a white woman. But when the woman called, she didn't say it was 4 people out here. She just said it was a 3. And it's something about like, oh, well, they didn't wave or smile at me. Like, I don't have to.
Right. I paid my money to rent this house. Now I'm leaving. About
Right.
my business.
And I'm pretty sure that the neighbor knows that the
That this is an
other neighbor is
Airbnb.
renting
it
the
out for
house.
There's
Airbnb.
gonna be random
And
people.
even when they called the lady that owns the property, they still was giving them a hard time.
Yeah, I watched the video and they were trying to say, well, we don't know if the person that you're talking to is the same person that our other officer talked to, and I guess they wanted her
Ma'am.
to like come down and so she can prove that who she was. And the lady's like, I can't leave my job, like I'm far away,
Right.
Like,
like, this is stupid.
ridiculous,
Just
crazy.
relax.
It's just like, just based off of what we look like, people are scared or nervous.
Yeah. On another note, my god brother got married yesterday. If you don't know who I'm talking about Prince Harry.
Yes, because she's a part of the family.
Yes,
Y'all
because
didn't
Princess
know,
Diana
Jillian?
is my godmother.
Yes, she's a really huge stand for
Princess Diana, like she's my everything. I love
just
her.
loved it. It was just so dope.
A gorgeous wedding.
It was,
I didn't
and
see
then
the whole thing. I didn't see enough.
I'm just so happy that Megan like added that seasoning.
Yes,
to
that
it.
salt
like,
and pepper.
the
Shout out to
choir.
Meg.
I did
Yeah.
see a lot of comments about her adding a little flavor.
Yes,
to
shout
it.
out to
definitely
Meg
embrace her
for bringing
black
her
side.
culture in. Like she was like, you know what? This is a new place. I'm gonna show them what I'm about.
Right.
And it was so classy, so well
So
done.
yes, it
She
was
had
so
the
well done.
choir. She
Stand
had
By Me.
Stand By Me. And then I think they were playing This Little Line of Mine at the end.
Like how like Negro spirituals.
Yes.
Like just yes. And then
Yeah,
she
I
had
did see a video of the choir this morning, and it was really good.
And they look so
And that's
beautiful.
what I sound like.
They
They
had
just looked so
weaves,
good.
natural
Ellen.
hair.
They
Oh,
sounded great.
So beautiful. The
Yeah.
preacher,
Bishop Curry.
Bishop Curry, was preaching.
That was a Sunday service.
That was a Sunday service, Bishop, but he was not preaching to the congregation. He was preaching to
the
all the
world.
people that he knew would be watching it, because his sermon was about love. He talked about Martin Luther King.
Yep, quoted.
Yep, he was like, what did he say? We must recover the power of love, the redemption power of love, and then when we recover that, we must be able to make the old world a new world. Love is the only way.
Fact.
Like, and then people
That
were
was a
talking.
world
That was a
sermon.
world message, and then
Yeah.
people were commenting, like, why didn't the other prince from Africa get recognition, and putting them against each other? I'm like, y'all forgot the message was about love, because
Right.
that's
It's just
where
like
it
people can't
starts
help
from.
themselves. They do it every time.
Right.
It's always like, who can I compare this person to?
So
Let's
negative.
talk about
you
You're talking about
finish,
this, so
but-
let's talk about this instead. It's
So
always that.
negative. Like, if we amongst ourselves show love amongst ourselves, it will spread like wildfire outside to other people. People
Exactly.
can't deny love. So once we love one another, then that's when we will see a change in the world.
Facts. Amal Clooney, George Clooney's wife, was popping.
Yellow.
Yeah,
I
I did
love
see a
that
picture. She
Papa
looked
yellow with
great.
the
Yes.
metallic gold heels with the ombre little hat. Oh, it was just so cool.
Auntie Oprah was looking good, nice and snatched.
She had a nice hat on. She do look a little snatched.
She was
do.
looking
She been
cute.
working hard.
She was looking cute.
So it was a wonderful event.
It was.
Yeah.
We just couldn't make it. But
Shout
it's
out
cool.
to them.
We'll be there next year.
Next.
Or whoever get married.
Right. So
So-
this weekend, rooting for everybody black.
Yeah.
Joanne kind of like stole my thunder a little bit, but I just wanted to shout out all the 2018 graduates this year, especially our
Yes.
black and brown brothers and sisters and our moms who are defying, statistics and out here getting their degrees and, being a great example for their children.
Yeah.
And again, a special shout out to our friend Haley. She
Yes,
graduated with
Haley.
her master's from SCSU.
Yes.
And shout out to our little bro Jermaine. He also graduated with
Jermaine.
his bachelor's from
Yes.
Central.
Young black
Congra-
male doing it.
Congratulations.
And
I
did it in his 4 years.
And did it in 4 years,
everybody's usually a super senior.
I think our other friend Slay graduated
Slay
with
did
his
too. He got his
master's
master's
in
as
I think counseling. So
Yep, school
shout out to
counseling.
Yeah,
him.
he got his master's at Southern also.
Yep.
so dope. So dope.
So very
Shout out
proud.
to you guys.
Shout
We
out to
are
y'all.
You inspire us because
it
we
made
want to
me
go
wanna
back
go
to school.
back.
Yeah.
For real.
Definitely.
Gotta get my life.
So, guys, this is the You Tried It of the
Ooh,
week.
tried it.
And it's going to Nicole Arbor. She's a Canadian YouTuber. And she remade the This Is America video, which originally was released by Childish Gambino, that basically like pointed out the black experience and violence in America. Like
Right.
when I watched this video, I was
A
like,
great.
It was a good video.
yeah,
Great
very
video.
great video. So she felt it necessary to remake it, pointing out feminism and the struggles that women have. But basically, everybody was like, nah. Because it looked as if she was like mimicking or trying to make light.
First of all,
the
it was too
content of
soon.
the
Like if she
original
wanted
video.
to redo it and do her own little thing to it, whatever.
But
But
she didn't even let it be
she
up
ain't
front.
right. She didn't even give it let it have its moment.
Somebody had tweeted.
But you know, white people.
Yeah, they just have to hop on our wave. Anime Ataku 1723 tweeted that Nicole Arbor's This Is America parody is proof white people think black pain and oppression is funny. They're constantly joking about things they don't experience because they lack empathy. They laugh at our pain and deny our oppression while stealing our culture for money. Like, can we have our own stuff, like, in peace? Like, why y'all got... You could have picked any other day,
Right.
any other time to do something to represent, women and the feminism movement, but you had to like steal ours
Right.
and try
Yeah.
to make it funny because you was like little cheerleaders like that. Like it just was like.
I think they need counsel. I think
really
someone
do.
needs to be like, you know what? I don't think it
that's
is a
a
good
good
idea.
But
Like,
they probably
somebody.
have somebody that's telling them that, and they still just want to do what they want to do.
It's crazy. So basically, Nicole Arbor,
You
you
tried
tried it. Don't do it again. Thanks.
Yeah, so this week for Astral, our topic this week is domestic abuse. So we had somebody actually share a story with us, and I'm just going to read it really quick. She says, I was in an abusive relationship for 6 years. I was so broken from my daughter's father's passing away and rushed into a relationship when I wasn't ready. While being in this relationship, I was pretty much told what I could not wear when I would go out. I was slapped, punched, choked, and even had a knife pulled out on me. My daughter saw him choke me and talk down to me. Some asked why I stayed for so long. It was because I didn't know my worth. I was so alone and was willing to deal with foolishness to make me feel complete. When in reality, I was hurting but scared to be alone. 6 years of my life wasted, but I'm so glad I got out of that situation when I did, or else I don't think I would have been here.
Thank
So-
God she
Sister.
was able to get out.
Yeah, so that brings us to our topic for today. So
Can I just say this before we go on? It was good for me to be afflicted.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure now that's her testimony. Now she's triumphant. She's
Yep.
doing her thing. So it was good for me to be afflicted. And thank God you got out of it. And more importantly, thank God you know your worth. And
Exactly.
you will never go back.
exactly.
And thank you for
Sharing.
being open
Yeah.
and willing enough to give us your
Because people
story.
need to know, it happens. I have another story I'm going to try to share with you guys later in the episode. But somebody else, sent in their story. And I was so, pleased to get these stories because it just allows people, and clearly, they're local people. So
Right.
it brings it kind of closer
Yeah.
to home and helps it to be more
Real.
real. I mean, we are seeing a lot of it happening in
Social
the
media.
media. We got Fab and Emily and the whole Nas and Khalees thing,
Right.
and then it's just it's,
But it happens right here
it
at
happens.
home.
It can happen to you
Us.
sitting
Our
right here at
age
the
group,
table. You never
younger,
know.
older, doesn't matter. It happens.
Is definitely true. So basically our topic is what's love got to do with it. So basically the definition of abuse is to treat a person or animal with cruelty or violence, especially regularly or repeatedly. And there's just so many different types of abuse. You have, physical abuse, emotional, sexual abuse, child abuse. We have financial abuse. There's so
Digital
many.
abuse.
It's a pattern of coercive, controlling behavior,
Yeah.
and it could happen in any relationship, regardless of age, sex, or
Right.
sexual orientation. It can happen just because so and so's in a lesbian relationship does not mean that so and so is exempt. It can happen
Right.
regardless.
Yeah.
And it can happen to men just as well as it's happening to women.
Facts.
Joanne, you gave a statistic on our promo vid that said, I think it was 1 in 43 men
Yeah, 1 in 43 men.
will be affected at least once in their life. And that's a lot.
That is a
That
lot.
Not
is
as
a
many
lot.
as women,
More than
but
we
it's
think.
a lot. It's way more
Yeah.
than you would think.
And I think when you talk about abuse, is always people always assume it's the woman being the victim
Right.
and the guy being the abuser. When it's been a lot of situations when it's the opposite. So a lot of people think that it's just that demographic, like the woman's always the victim, but no, it's not.
And then
true.
even in those situations that we kind of talked about it a little bit last week, whereas both parties are engaging in the physical violence. So what do we say about that? Is it
Right.
if females have a tendency, I guess, to use their hands when they're upset with guys. So now we're gonna get your girl, you're gonna pull up and you're gonna go
Right.
punch homie in the face.
Just
Right.
think about
I-
Jody
yeah.
and Yvette.
Right.
I did it before.
So how do we handle that situation?
So this was a long time ago, and my two friends, I'm not even gonna say their names. They was like, "No, we driving up there, we going." Got hopped in the car, drove, sat outside, waited for him to get home, pulled up, and we were talking, and I just went what and just walked off. And I'm like, thank God he didn't hit me.
So
You hit the
if-
guy?
Oh yeah, I snuffed him.
She hit him, but he
yeah.
didn't hit back.
But I was like, oh my God, like I really got myself to that point.
Thank
like, I
God
was
he didn't hit you
apologizing.
back.
I was calling like, I'm so sorry. He forgave me, but he was like, you better not put your hands on me again.
So then
Right.
it's like, now if he would have hit her back, most people
Right.
would be looking like, oh, he should have never hit her. And it's like, not often do people say, well, she should
Right.
have.
Because I got
she
a good,
initiated it.
I got a good.
And quite frankly,
fist.
is self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah,
right.
I know. My
You
mother always
scaring me. I
told
gotta defend myself for y'all, even if you are a female.
Yeah, my
I'm
mother always
actually
told
very
me
shocked
like,
right now.
yeah, and that was the first and only time I hit somebody.
I had an incident like that too.
Yo,
But he started it. He was just,
but he didn't hit you first.
he threw
started
something.
the
He
argument.
threw something at me, and I hit him. I
Okay.
punched him in the face.
I remember.
Yeah.
I never been in a situation where I was arguing and I wanted to like put my hands on someone. A girl, yes, but a guy, no.
Well, have you been in a situation where you've?
I've been in a
argument, like
yes,
heated
I've been in
argument
a
like that
heated
with a guy?
discussion, but never so much that I wanted to lay my hands on him because I'm the type of person if I'm arguing with you, I will just walk away because
Okay.
me being silent will hurt you more than me arguing because then if I'm arguing with you, you got me. But if I don't speak to you, they're like, damn, like I don't know what she's thinking about. Like, is she mad? Like, what's her mind frame?
Right.
So I've never been in a situation, and hope to God I'm never in a situation where I want to lay hands on you because then I gotta be ready to get the Zoe out and kill you.
Yeah, so that was my one and only time.
She just took it very straight to murder.
One and only time, and there's a lot of things surrounding it. Nell and Kari will tell you that story really, really good.
Yeah, we're gonna have. We should have them on Facebook Live.
They'll
on
tell you that
Friday.
story really well. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the one and only time. But you
So
know.
there's so many warning signs prior to the abuse like getting started, or like just starts to before it gets to physical,
Right.
like different things. Guilt tripping, extreme jealousy, possessiveness, unpredictability, a
Control.
bad temper, verbal abuse, extremely controlling behavior, trying to distance you from
Your friends,
family,
family.
and friends, like isolating you from them.
And that's usually kind of like the isolating is like
how it
in
starts,
the beginning.
yeah.
It starts. I actually was watching a TED talk before I came here from 2013, and she was just talking about how like when she met the guy, he was like super sweet and super amazing, and just he loved her like wholeheartedly. So he started off being this great guy,
Right.
and then it kind of switched into this him trying to isolate her, but he did it in a way where it was like, oh, you know, let's move to this place.
Right.
You know, I want to get away from because he came from an abusive family. So he wanted to get away from his family and, you know, be with somewhere with just her and build their own life together. So he started by, now she's in a whole nother city.
Right. No family, no friends.
nearby.
Right.
So being isolated and trying to control who you see and who you talk to, that's what
It's just
that's
like
a
the,
big sign for me, I would
yeah.
think.
It's just like the movie Enough with J-Lo.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a very
I love
that
that
was
movie.
very out of her element. When the husband he found her and he watched her for years, and then he approached her, he isolated her. She wasn't allowed to have friends. He made her stay at home, and then he started beating her.
Yep.
She had no money.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
He was a great guy. She had no money. He isolated her. So what can you do?
And he
like,
was a cop. So you asked, what can you do? And so I actually mentioned that in my notes because I thought about it. He's a cop, and you know, a lot of women are saying like, why don't women leave in their
Right.
situations? First of all, you just never know. Like you don't know until you're in it. Why a person
Right. So many
leaves.
people
Right.
say, "Oh, I would have this, that, and the third."
But you can't say it until you're there. And then one of the statistics is that when a female leaves or when a victim leaves an abusive relationship, that is the most dangerous time in their life. So that's number one right there.
the abuse is more
Right.
physical.
It's
and
like
all
I'm
that
safer
after.
if I
To stay,
So,
yeah.
and enough, he was a cop, right? So he's a cop. He has cop friends.
Right.
Right.
And so what do you do when you have that situation and you can't even go to the cops because they're taking your husband's side?
Right.
Right. And
How do
then
you
when you
leave?
see so many different scenarios where someone did say something, even on 13 Reasons Why, like when Hannah went to the counselor, he's like, oh, well, was it a decision that you made that now you regret doing? And she was like, no, it's not like that.
Right.
And he's like, well, he's a senior, so he should be gone in a few months. Like trying to really downplay
Like
it.
you
Like,
got a few minutes to worry about it and it'll be over.
there's only a few options. She was like, and what are they? And he's like, oh, I mean, you can just like let it go. Like why would like? But that happens to people. Like it's like the victim gets questioned. Like, oh, well, what did you do or what did you wear
Right.
to make them do that?
Yes.
Or
Always.
like you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like instead of actually hearing the case and the situation and saying like, no, like this happened to me. And then when that happens, that makes a person shut down and say, look, there's no point in
yeah,
telling
I'm not
anybody,
telling my
you know?
story. That happens a lot with abuse, with rape. Like you caused it, you did this. What did you say to him? And
Right.
did
no
you
one
provoke
ever asks
him?
us to-
Right.
for that to happen to them. Like the whole women, you shouldn't wear this, and he wouldn't have did that.
Right.
No, like you have no right. If I decide to wear some coochie cutters,
Right. No
and
means
just
no.
a bra, like
Let
that's-
me do me. Like,
right.
It's not an invitation for
Keep
anything.
your hands
It's
to
not, I'm
yourself.
asking for
No
anything.
means no.
Right.
So then we have physical abuse, which is basically unwanted physical contact, and that can happen with boyfriend, girlfriend,
Right.
like friends.
Friends. Mhm.
But I wanted to ask, like, are we becoming too soft? So, like, say, like, if you play fighting with your mate or something, he plucks you in your forehead, like, is that considered abuse, or is it because it's not continuous?
I think it's the intent behind it.
Intent. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
True.
Yeah. that's a
I
really
think
good
it's
point.
the intent behind it. So if you're plucking me and we're joking, like, ah, ha, ha, ha,
Like
ha.
you're not trying
Right.
to hurt me. We're playing around. We're
Right,
having a
but
good
if
time.
you're in a violent rage
Like, girl,
and,
shut up.
and you pluck me multiple times and
Yeah.
you want to choke me after, it's all about your demeanor
That's true.
and how you approach the situation.
It's a thin line.
It's a-
and mentioning the plucking, because it could be like the intent, her trying to hurt you could be something as small as I'm gonna be plucking you, or I'm gonna just keep shoving you and stuff.
Right.
It don't have to be I'm gonna slap you or punch
Right.
you in
Right.
the face. Like it could be
little things.
throwing
That
stuff
builds
at you,
up.
like I mentioned before.
Yeah, but it's literally, I think, is how you feel about it. So my
Exactly.
question is, do you verbalize to that person ASAP, like in the beginning, or do you kind of wait until the situation happens and say, look, I don't like that?
I think it's more of a like it when it comes up, because you're not gonna go into. I mean, you obviously have standards for yourself. Like I'm not, because we all say I'm not gonna deal with a guy that's gonna be abusive. If he does this, I'm leaving. But I feel like it's really not gonna come up until he might hit you a little too hard when you're
Right.
play fighting, and you say, "Well, like I didn't like that," or he
Stop, that
might
hurt.
say something to you that's a little crazy, and you're like, "I don't like the way you said that
Right.
to me."
Right.
So I feel like it'll be when it comes up. Now we're gonna address
That's
it.
true, because you don't sit down at dinner when you're on a happy time, be like, so I never expect you to lay your hands on me and
Right.
da
But
da
if
da.
you
da.
Just so
Yeah.
just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Like in Baby Boy, when Yvette was all in his face, Yvette knew, she just knew that he wasn't going to hit her back. Because after he hit her back, she was
Her
like,
face
you
was
said
up.
you never hit me.
And that's how most females are.
And she just kept on provoking, and then he just,
He slapped her hard,
Yes.
too, boy.
And she was in shock.
she was in
Yeah,
shock
she
because
was.
he said, I will never hit you. But they can
But you
only,
can't
guys,
be
can only take
agitating
so
the
much.
person.
And it's so weird because, like, back in the day, like, when you were in school and stuff, they would say, like, oh, well, if a little boy hits you, that means he likes you.
Right.
Like, you tell that to people. And then someone that I know was basically saying, like, back in high school, she had big boobs, and then people would take her bra strap and pop it, like in school. But it just was like, oh,
form
boy,
of bully-
like,
yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, but is that, like, physical abuse?
In today's age, it'd be looked at as
Or are we
Sexual
being too
harassment.
sensitive?
Right. This is what I'm saying. Because physical abuse is unwanted physical contact. So if you don't want somebody taking your bra strap and popping, would that hurt? That hurts, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking
But
about it.
it
I'm
does
like,
hurt. Especially if you get the part that got the little plastic
yeah,
piece.
it's like, wow. Like, but you know what I'm saying? That's why I was asking, is it us being a little too soft?
But
or
I don't even know if it's like being. I think we have a tendency to be a little soft on certain issues. But I think it goes back to, I think you just said it, is what you're comfortable with. Like
Right.
if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's not me
Right.
being sensitive. I just don't like it.
Right.
And you have to respect
And you
that.
have to respect that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So then we have digital abuse. And that
Yeah.
can range from like unwanted dick pics. So basically, Tony, the tow truck driver.
Yeah, digital abuse is like the cyber. I feel like it's more geared towards like in a teenage relationship,
Technology.
but it can be in any relationship. But it's
Yeah.
verbal or emotional abuse, but it's usually happening over the internet. So people posting even just bad statuses about you,
Exposing
sending
you.
like we said, sending you the dick pics that you didn't ask for. That's technically a digital abuse because you're
Yeah.
assaulting me with your
Unwanted,
penis,
yeah.
and I didn't ask you to.
But how many times on like Twitter, like you would see dudes like posting
Exposing.
their exes
Exposing,
pictures
yeah.
and stuff. And back in the day, everybody used to be like, "Oh, snap, you seen that?" Like,
Yeah.
da-da-da. But now you see
It's becoming
more,
more so serious.
yeah, and like guys being like, "Yo, you're corny for that." Like,
Right.
you really think that's
Because
like,
when
cool
you think
for a dude to
about
do?
it, it is a form of digital abuse. You're putting my body out there. You're putting something so intimate out there without my permission. I didn't.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Right.
So and then you're abusing the fact that I allowed you to take
Film
these
me.
pictures or
Right.
whatever. You're abusing
Yeah.
that. And I feel
That's
like just
why-
because we're not together, and like I don't get what motivates
corny.
dudes to do that. Like
It's like
what
this is the person
point?
that you was with and you was smashing or whatever. Like,
Like now you mad and
like what do you get out of
I
doing
don't
that?
get
You
it.
were supposed to be my protector, like
Right.
my best friend. You were supposed to be my everything. And now that we're not together anymore, you have totally disregarded my feelings, my morals, my faith, and you just like outed me.
That's like a
for
new
the
low.
whole world to see.
That's crazy.
It's like completely inappropriate.
But now
I've never
girls-
been that type of person too. We're not together. Like you won't ever hear me say nothing bad about my ex, and
Facts.
I could say some stuff, but what is the point?
For what?
right. If
There's
you
no
over it,
reason
you
for me
over
to
it.
slander him on social media. There's no reason for me to always have to bring him up and say something negative about him. I could just not talk about him at all. Like,
Right.
There's no need to mention him.
Right. But even like, and then they were saying how sexting is a form of digital abuse. If it's consensual, then it's okay. But
Right.
then you go into if you're texting somebody 17 and somebody's 18, it could be considered child pornography.
Oh, just 1 year? Because
Even
that's,
if
oh,
you're
wow.
if you're
'cause it's
under
still
18,
under 18,
period.
yeah.
Yikes.
And this basically happened with Tierra Marie recently. She's claiming that her ex-boyfriend stole her passwords to her phone and posted inappropriate images of her. And then she's also suing 50 Cent because 50 Cent
Reposted
it, which I believe you still can get in trouble for.
You can.
Yeah.
I remember someone telling me about their granddaughter had an incident where in the kids' school, this was like I think in Florida, the kids were passing like a picture of somebody. I don't know if it was one of the kids, like a penis picture, but I don't know if it's one of the kids or something else that they found on the internet maybe. But they were all passing it around, and they all got in trouble because they
they all had it in their
continually were
possession.
sharing
Pass it.
it. So they all had to get in trouble for that.
And that lawsuit with Tierra Marie, that's a big lawsuit. She's suing for a lot of money. And
But
she
then
got
there was a video or an article out, and he's saying that he's denying that he leaked it, and he's saying that she knows
Oh,
for a
yeah.
fact that he did
That
it.
it
the
was a
boyfriend.
And apparently it's
Yeah.
a woman who
He was
leaked it.
she just flew out here and seen me the other day. Like she
Right.
knows it's not me. I know it's not me. We know it's a woman, but he wouldn't say like what woman.
Right. And this is an article that
They're
came out
saying
today.
that it's really not him who she's trying to sue. She's trying to
Trying to get
sue
50.
50, the bigger
That's
fish.
not money.
The bigger fish.
Right.
My thing is, you can't be mainly going for the person that's sharing it. You go for the initial person that
Right.
put out there in the first
She
place.
probably
Right.
Not
think
to say
like
that he's not wrong or
Right.
whatever, but how you gonna be going harder on
Like
him?
you gonna skip the ex-boyfriend.
Right.
she probably thinking this is a blessing because Black China sued Rob for revenge. I think it was revenge porn or for revenge something, and she sued Rob.
And they have the same
Lawyer,
Lu-
yeah.
Lisa Bloom.
Yeah,
Lisa Bloom
they
getting
do.
I guess
checked.
she's like
She was down
the
here.
tabloid. I'm gonna see.
I don't know if she was Kim K's lawyer, but
No, I wonder.
I don't
who
know.
was Kim K's lawyer? But her family leaked. She
They
never
wanted
knew,
that.
but her mother leaked the
Right, they probably wasn't trying to sue nobody for that.
But they did. They sued the porn company
Oh, that posted it on everything.
that posted it.
So they
They
can make it.
probably like I don't care because
So they
they
can
probably
make it
made so
look
much
like
money by
right.
having it on there.
They just
built
wanted to
their
look like they
empire.
didn't leak it themselves.
Yeah, and now with digital abuse, just so everyone knows, men and women are equally likely to experience digital abuse. So that's one abuse that's even between male and female.
That's true, because you can get a guy could give you his dick pic and you can circulate it around the group chat, and
Like
then
we did so
We do
Tony
it.
was wrong and
Right.
we were wrong because if you see on our
And we told
I'm not even gonna
Tony
tell
about
myself.
everybody.
yeah, and even like when we were recording, we were like, look, girl, like he tried
Right.
it, like
yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I also saw what under the digital abuse is somebody tagging you unkindly in pictures on Facebook.
But see, that's
that's
where
the
it's like,
sensitivity thing.
Yeah, it's just like you know,
Explain
like, how do
that
you know?
one.
So like, say it's an inappropriate video on Facebook. It's like, oh, I'm about to tag Trell and Joe.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and then you get startled by
Is
seeing
it? I took it as like if somebody posted a picture that you didn't like I didn't like how I look in that picture, take it down.
oh, then that's all the time.
yeah.
I may be wrong. It could be.
I
either
got
one. It could
lawsuits
be
coming.
both. I don't know.
Yo, please stop.
I got
please.
lawsuits coming. That's all the time.
Yeah,
Take
'cause
it
you be like,
down.
Let me see the picture. But so that's digital. So then we're gonna go to emotional and sexual abuse, which is very, very serious. And I wanted to say, just because you're in a relationship with a person doesn't mean you can't
can't
get
be
sexually
sexually-
assaulted.
Right.
Like a lot of times it'll be like, oh well, no, he just was playing rough. Like we're in a
Right.
relationship. Like no, I didn't get raped.
But
Yeah.
if you're saying that you don't want to and he's forcing you to have sex with him still, just because he's and it's even if he's your husband, like it's
You
still-
literally stole the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say even a wife can get raped. If
Uh-huh.
she says no
I've
to her
heard of that
husband.
before.
Yeah, we've both heard of a situation where that happened in the marriage, and the husband he had to suffer the consequences
did
of that
time
because
and
at the end of the day, she didn't consent because she said no at that moment, and no was no.
Right.
That Yeah, that's hard though.
It is.
That
It
is
is hard.
very hard.
That's your husband or and the father of your kids
Right.
and stuff.
So do you break up after that? You have to.
I
They
think they're
didn't,
still
but-
together.
They didn't?
No.
No, I think
After he served time, they didn't break up?
No.
they dealt with a lot of stuff, but that's a whole nother story. They dealt with a
Yeah.
lot, and she stuck around for a lot. She a strong woman for sure. I'll
To
tell you
death
that
do us
much.
part, for real, for real.
But yeah,
That's love on equal parts because if, I raped
I don't know how I would
you,
handle that.
but then you went to jail because, you told on me instead of just letting me
Right.
the doghouse for a couple weeks. And then after I come out, I'm going to be right with you. And you just sent me to jail.
I feel
True.
Yeah, I don't even know how I would handle that situation.
Me either.
At all.
That
I
is
don't know how I would handle if he said, if I were saying no and he still like forced me. I don't know how I would handle that being my husband. I don't know if I would just say, you know what, I'm pissed off at you and you gonna sleep on the couch, or if I'm gonna go to the police. I have no idea what.
And
I
I
would
don't
do.
know if like someone might have overheard or something and then reported
Somebody
it.
Right.
And she
reported it.
did.
That's true.
Yeah, we just
That's
know what
super
happened.
tough.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just don't do it, guys.
And yeah,
Right.
and then like even like emotional abuse, when people say things like, "Well, if you love me, you'll do this."
Right.
Just that mind game, and I think emotional is like
Worse.
So yeah, like the after effect of it is so
Long term.
Yeah, because
and
it's-
emotional can lead to, even if it's no physical to start, that emotional can ultimately lead to the physical or the psychological abuse. So I definitely agree.
like
that
you're
is,
basically
like-
using the love that someone has for you to get what you want.
Right.
I
Like
think
that's
that it's
so
harder to come back
manipulative.
from, right?
Think
Yeah.
about physical. You have your scars,
They
so you
heal.
always have your scars to
But they might
remind
heal.
you. Your scars are gonna
The
heal.
emotional abuse, I don't think
Emotional,
they'll heal
it
that
will
well.
stay with you for like a very long time. Even if you want to progress in life, that person's words will come back and like, I want to go back to school. You're never gonna be nothing.
Yeah,
You're
just talking
worthless.
down on you.
No one's ever gonna love you like I love you. Like that hurts.
Yeah. And then I feel like, do you feel like when you're coming from an abusive family or a family background, like with abuse and things like that, it makes you want to stay more? Because like that's kind of your norm.
What you're used to,
what
yeah.
you've always seen.
Or you probably
does have an
think
effect on some people.
you probably think I can change him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna love him so much, show him better that I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this situation
I
work.
definitely think that.
But when do you say like enough is enough?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's why it's so
he
important
almost
to
killed you.
love yourself and have your own identity, the identity before you're in a relationship, before you become married. And
But so, not to cut you off, but you're saying that it's and it is important. But so the person I mentioned before with the TED Talk, she is actually she was at the time 22 and she was working for a 17 magazine. So she was doing her thing. They both were doing their thing, and she was confident in herself. You know, I'm on my shit. This is great. But she still stuck around and dealt with it for
yeah,
a while. Like she literally said the abuse started a week before her wedding, and she just chalked it up to, we're both having a tough time. He's stressed about the wedding. It's an isolated incident. It's not gonna happen again. And then a week later, got married to this person.
A week before your wedding, he starts switching up.
they always show you
Completely
the colors.
switching up.
Watch the signs.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying the signs had to be there the whole time.
Right.
They had to be there the whole time.
That's true. They're probably at the honeymoon phase.
Even as subtle as, oh please, you not about to really go back to school. Oh, like you know, just something
Right.
real, like
Little-
a small
little
seed.
seeds.
Plant a little
Yeah.
seed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So then I have a question. How do you guys feel about false accusations? So, what do you think should be done to the person that falsely is accused and abused? For example, Reuben Foster, he's a linebacker for the 49ers. His ex, Alicia Ennis, took the stand and admitted that she lied to police and fabricated domestic violence claims that she originally had. Like he went to jail for federal abuse claims. Like the team like suspended him until everything is done. And she said, I wanted to sue Reuben. It was a money scheme. It was all about money. I wanted to get him. And then she was like, I was threatening Reuben that I was going to F up his career. I told him I'm about to F up. Make sure you don't have a job tomorrow.
So what's
And then she basically said that she lied. And she said, I really wanted to kill him. I was so hurt.
what did he do to her for her to be that vicious?
He wanted to break up with her. Wow. Yeah. And
That I don't know.
Who
that's
raised
crazy.
Right.
But it happens all the time, the false accusations. And then I personally feel like if you, the same time that this person has to face for abusing you, you need to be facing the same thing
Right.
I
for.
think that's a good point. I mean, I don't know about the time necessarily being the same, but I absolutely 100%
Like you
feel
ruining people's
there has
lives.
to be some kind
So
of
you don't think
consequences.
she should? Let's say if he served 5 years, you don't think she should serve
I
5
don't know,
years?
I think it depends on how many years it would be for me.
I feel like it
Because
should.
for the accusation, I don't know. Like if you were being accused of a crime, that's gonna say that you got to be 25 to life, and I don't know if I would agree with you getting 25 for lying. I mean, I
But look
do
at Emmett
feel
Till
like
in the,
you should.
Yeah, look at Emmett Till.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
It's bad. But I feel like if you have a harsher punishment for lying like that, then people would do less lying.
Think
I
about all those black men back in the day that are yesterday, 11 years, rape charge, falsely accused, Philly, been released. 27 years. I think we had a couple
And this
cases
is
in
wild.
Connecticut, 35 years. DNA tests are getting them freed.
Years later.
$2 million is not even can equate to
No.
the many years of
you
depression and like beating yourself up. Like, I know I'm not guilty.
Yeah.
And you are locked up like an animal.
Yeah. It just has a lot of negative effects. Tremendous amount of effects. Period.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why I'm not a fan of capital punishment.
Yeah. Me
I don't know
either.
what I was gonna say just now, but that's why I'm not a fan of capital punishment. It's for that reason. I mean, that's a whole
Because they
nother
probably
topic,
killed a
but
lot of
that's-
them.
that didn't deserve it.
Right.
And that's that's probably like my strongest reasoning behind it. 'Cause
Yeah.
people lie so much. You just
It's so
like I would
crazy.
never, if I had to be in that position to make that choice to say I think your life should be ended, and then to come and find out that it was a lie this whole time. It's one thing to be in jail. I mean, it's no better, but it's one thing to be in jail for thousands of not thousands,
Dying.
hundreds of years.
It feels like
did.
thousands
I
for
know.
them, I'm
And
sure.
from
They go
that
by.
years,
Yeah.
and then you get out. But then to just your life is over, like,
Yeah.
So you don't.
and it wasn't even.
So do you think the Cheshire Pettit case? Do you think the guys that
was that the home invasion?
yes? Do you think they should be put to death?
I don't know. I don't think I'm really just
I'm
a
not
fan of it. Period.
Anybody dying, period.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's more effective when you're in
You
jail.
sit and
you
think
have
about
to
it.
Sit and rot and think about it. Yeah.
But I think people that are more like they don't want to pay for that person to sit there, and I get it. But I do think it's probably because the purpose is to be rehabilitating this person, and I do feel like people can change.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like people can change.
Forgiveness. Yep.
So I don't think I'm with that.
And when you're in jail for that long, and then you get out, one, you're socially delayed by all those years. Like, how are you supposed to go out and find a job? How are you supposed to learn how to use a cell phone or, things like that? It's just so crazy. So
You
that's
miss
why
out on so much.
It's crazy. Over a lie.
Over a lie.
There definitely should be some consequences, just
Yeah.
like with the people calling the cops for these outlandish things. Like
Yeah.
they have to suffer something.
And
I
because
mean, I
they're going to
get-
continue to do it.
Right, I get you. Okay, with them coming out with the luggage. Okay, you thought they might have been stealing, cool, but when you find out, you first of all you need to apologize for
Right.
being an idiot, and then the police need to apologize for how they handle the situation because they never come in trying to find out what's going on first. They just react.
Absolutely.
So I do feel like something should have to be done. Something got to be done.
So I have a question. How should we conduct ourselves as bystanders when we see abuse? When we see signs of abuse, when we actually see an altercation going on?
For me personally, if it was somebody, if I see, like, if I'm walking down the street and I see something happening, I think I would probably just keep walking and call the police.
Right.
And say, because I feel like I've done that before. And I'll just keep walking and say, I saw this person down the street doing X, Y, Z. I don't think I would intervene. Absolutely not. But if it was a friend or a family member and I'm seeing the signs or you showing up with bruises, I'm definitely going to say something to you, like, what's going on? Like, I'm definitely going to say something. I probably can't intervene physically with the situation, but I'm definitely going to make mention of it. I'm definitely going to try to offer help to you or help you find help as best as I can. I don't think I would just completely ignore it, but I do think a lot of people do have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Seeing stuff and not saying anything.
Yeah, and then like when I was in psychology and getting my degree, we learned about the bystander effect. So basically, what happened was a woman getting sexually assaulted in the middle of the street in New York, and people were in their windows like looking, and nobody called 911. And it's because
38 people witnessed and seeing this, and even to the point where I guess the lights and then hearing the voices scared the guy off. Twice he came back. Watch, I don't get. He still came back and nobody called
during all
Still.
that duration. But it was like, oh, I see this person. I'm pretty sure they already called 911. Or, oh, that person probably already called, and vice versa.
And they talk about that a lot with like when you have like the mass shooting and stuff, and they're like, why nobody intervened is always because you're thinking somebody else
did it. Yeah.
But everybody's thinking that same thing, so ultimately nobody intervened.
But that goes on so much. Like we become a society that we want to watch and we want to record.
That's true too.
Instead of saving the day. 9/11, I think 9/11 is one of the only instances that I've heard of someone actually intervening and trying to save the day.
Right.
One of the shootings a couple months ago, the security guard ran the other way.
The security guard, that's crazy.
Instead of trying to save the day. Like, these are kids.
I feel like it's the mindset of society of I'm looking out for me and me only.
But I do feel like if you're not the police officer, I do feel like you're not obligated to intervene and try to stop a shooter or whatever.
You could do something.
Unless that's your job. I do feel like you do something, even if that something is just calling for help or trying to get other people to safety. Right. But trying to physically take down a person, I don't think you're obligated to do that unless that is your job.
Hey, at this point you're gonna die anyway. He's gonna kill you anyway. You might as well go down fighting and trying to save somebody.
5 or 6 teachers at least trying,
right? Yeah. Trying to save
something could have,
because you can prevent all the other kids from dying.
That's true.
I mean,
that's why it's important for all the schools and all business, everybody to be getting that ALICE training. I think that could definitely help a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. So we can keep going on and on. Like I said, there's so many different types of abuse. But we wanted to touch on this topic because I feel like it's an uncomfortable topic for people to kind of swallow and realize and say, this is really happening, like you said, in our community, right in our faces. So we wanted to definitely touch on it. If you know anybody that has been abused or is going through it actively, please seek help. Don't be like the bystander effect or say anything. Can
I just share a few tips really quick?
Go ahead.
So we mentioned about leaving and how it's not always the safest way, but I've heard that if you are in a situation, prepared to leave, and you can do that by taking pictures of your bruises, going to the police and getting things documented, saving up money if that's your issue, so you have some money to rely on to get away or whatever. And then I think the most important thing is telling somebody else, so you got a witness.
Right.
Telling somebody else that I am in this situation, so if something happens to me, you might want to check this person.
And write statements.
Yeah, you got to just have something for people to go on.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So, just want to say that.
Once again, please use the hotline number and seek help.
1-800-799-SAFE. That's SAFE. 1-800-799-7233. Make sure you use that number. It's 24/7 and it's free.
Yep. So we're going to end on a positive note.
Yes, my positive word for the week is never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life. Define yourself. Yeah. Basically, this kind of ties into the abusive nature of people, emotional, whatever. Don't ever let anyone put you down. Don't let anyone dictate who you are, who you're going to be, and who you should become.
Super important.
Have your own mind. Have your own everything.
Yep.
Money, mind, friends, whatever. Don't let nobody, your mother, your friend, your sister, don't let anybody dictate what you're going to be. Because as you can see, we can become anything that we want to be. We could be a princess. We could be the president of the United States. Yep. We could be whatever you want to be. So don't let anyone dictate who you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Definitely. And you guys, make sure you hit up Inspire Her campaign. They're having the Women of Color Mental Health Week. Our mental health matters. It's May 20th to May 26th. And you can go on Instagram at Inspire Her TV, INSPIRE IHER TV, and they basically are doing different things each day. Like today, they had a inspirational call this morning.
Yep.
Monday through Friday, they're gonna have
A few
text
Twitter
Twitter chats.
Yep. So
Yep,
go on
and
their
then-
Instagram and check it out and see what's going on.
Yes, definitely positive. We love promoting positivity, especially with our Black ladies.
Yes, and guys, don't forget about our speed dating event, May
Yes.
31st. I know you guys have been seeing the flyers. All the ladies' spots have been taken, and we got some on the waiting list. So
Yep.
it's some females out there. So guys, make sure you get those reservations, and we got a few.
And we have a
spots
lot of
left.
them. Waterbury, Bridgeport,
Some new faces.
some DC natives that just moved out here.
DC chillin'.
So make sure y'all do that. And don't forget, for $20 off your order of luxury virgin bundles, go to thetrackhouse.com.
Trackhouse.
That's TRACHOUSE/shop for $20, and the deal ends on the 26th. So take advantage, ladies.
Where when you be seeing our pictures on Instagram, me and Trell, we're
Yes.
proud of.
I told y'all I got my hair done yesterday.
Yes,
I
they've
got
been
them Track
loyal
House bundles.
customers of the Track House for years before it even was
Was
the
it
Track
was a
House.
Track House, yes.
When Renee was doing hair in her
At
room.
mom's
Yes. So I am a huge supporter of all the ladies over there. So go check them out.
And shout out to them for sponsoring this event.
Yes.
Not even
And that
Lord
is
podcast.
that is a beautiful thing for her to be like, you know what, guys, I believe in you. Thank you for supporting me all those years. So I want to give back to you, and that's
Real
what we
one.
need more of: people giving back to one another, being true to your friendships. Like you see your homegirl doing your thing. Yeah, I buy 50 of those, like or whatever you can
Support
afford. Just
however
but
you
be
can.
genuine about it. Be real about it.
They real ones, dear.
Yes.
So, guys, we love you. Thank you for tuning
Yes.
in, and we will talk to you later.
Bye,
Adios.
guys.
Oh, that was high pitched.
Soprano. Don't you ask about us. Once we started, we ain't stopped. And that breed on that track, got that heat like you can rock. Talk about shit in that hit, yeah,